A question I like to ask myself, and you probably like to do the same too, is how can I achieve more? How can I achieve my goals? Or how can I pretty much achieve anything that I set my mind to? And as I'm reading more books about, self-development and spirituality, I was like, oh shit. The whole premise is basically gaslighting yourself. And essentially, I'll be explaining what that actually means. And I'm trying a new type of video, so hopefully you guys like it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but essentially, gaslight yourself. And I was like, okay, what's the definition of gaslighting? It's basically when you question someone's sanity or reasoning on a particular situation that was in the past. For example, if you were in a relationship or you had a friendship and you guys went to a party 6 months ago and they were like to you, oh, I can't believe like this girl wasn't into me. And you were like, nah, bro, that girl was defo into you. Like, do you not see the way that she looked at you? Then you're basically questioning your friend's sanity of his, recollection of events on that particular night, basically saying that he doesn't remember the way the girl looked at him. And then that leads him to maybe messaging the girl. Even though, damn well the girl probably didn't look at him that way. He messages the girl and maybe they hit it off, and then that basically changes his timeline forever. And essentially what we're going to be doing is doing that to yourself. Let's get into the video. The first thing is your subconscious. Is there two M's in programming? And essentially, it's beliefs that are built deep inside of you. And that's either beliefs that you adopted from other people or beliefs that you experienced. For example, I'm not saying I believe this, but a lot of guys think that, oh, women can't drive. And this could be something that they adopted or experienced anytime they got into an accident or anytime that they saw car crashes. They're like, oh, it's a female driver. Of course. And then anytime that they see more of those things, something happens called a confirmation bias, which basically confirms that they were right and that strengthens your subconscious programming or subconscious belief system. So this could be anything to do with, if we take this to do with money. So when I was growing up, a lot of people always thought if you were going to be rich, you had to sell your soul. If you were going to be rich, you had to do bad things. You had to be evil. If you were rich, he was doing something dodgy. He's probably selling drugs or like he's just a really good undercover at doing whatever badness he does. If you're rich, essentially nothing good comes from it. And anytime that I saw that someone got a lot of money, I always assumed that they did something wrong and I always looked for the bad inside of them. This could be anything from celebrities to people that, that are just in the news and in newspapers or in social media. You'll just see, oh, this person donated to a charity, but they own the charity. I'm like, oh, that's hella shady. Like, I knew he was rich and I knew he had something dodgy about him. He's basically doing this to avoid taxes. And that strengthens my subconscious programming. And that also means I've got a confirmation bias. However, if I just flip the script on any of those subconscious beliefs that I have, and I'm not saying that it's easy to just figure out what your deepened beliefs are, but anything that basically triggers the emotion in you or that either gets you going emotionally, that is a belief. And if you can literally just flip the script, find out what you believe to be true. And as I'm hanging out with Nero and reading more books, there's no such thing as truths. There's only half truths, because I could believe one thing, someone else could believe the complete opposite, and because of confirmation bias, we will look to be right in any aspect that we believe. So if I just flip the script on people being bad if they're rich, and I look for the good in rich people, without a doubt, I'd find the good in rich people. The donations, the volunteering, the help that they do, the amount of people that they give jobs and employ so that they can make more money. Like, there's so much that the rich do. Now, I can have that programming, and that will allow me to gaslight myself into coming over the hurdle of being rich. If my goal was to be rich, but my beliefs didn't align with who I wanted to be when I became rich, I would sabotage myself from becoming rich. And that's how powerful your beliefs are, which is why you need to gaslight yourself into be like, oh nah, he donated to the charity, he owns it, but still he probably owns the charity and he's donating to it and he's still helping people. Or Jeff Bezos gave so many people jobs at Amazon warehouse, like they're literally paying for their family. Or Stormzy, what did he do? He paid for university fees for black students or doctors or something like that. Or Drake, he also did the same thing. Like, all these rich people are doing good things, and if I see the good in them and then re-engineer the bad into good and gaslight myself and be like, nah, they're good, I'm going to be good when I'm rich, and that encourages me to go out there and essentially be rich without any barriers. Especially if I thought, nah, I'm never going to switch up, I'm never going to change my soul, like, or sell my soul, I should say, then I wouldn't do it and I'll sabotage myself. And that also brings me to the second point. I'm telling you, confirmation bias is real, bro. Like, yeah, confirmation bias is just too real. You'll literally just look to be right, no matter what. So you might as well just change your beliefs into something that's going to benefit you and then be right about that. The second point is, if you gaslight yourself enough, you will have crazy self-belief. And self-belief is foundational if you're going to achieve anything. You need to believe in yourself before the world does. The mirror will never smile before you do. You see, the thing with self-belief, and I always will refer to Kanye West for this, or Ye, in his documentary, I think it's called Yeezus or something like that. Not even in the documentary, I think it was in an interview. The guy was basically like, oh, you've got crazy self-belief. Like, do you really believe you can do anything? And he was like, I believe I could do anything. If I quit rap right now and go to the NBA, I believe I could make it. And to the world, it sounds flipping crazy. And to him, maybe he even does sound slightly crazy, but he genuinely believes it. And he said his mom, like, instilled that into him from a very young age. So his level of self-belief is profound. It's ridiculous because he was literally born, brought up to believe that he can do anything, and he literally proved it, right? In the documentary itself, Kanye was just a producer at the time. He was just a producer. And he wanted to be a rapper, or you could say artist. No one believed that he could be a rapper or an artist because you're just a producer, right? You can't do anything else. You're just a producer, blah, 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 blah. Eventually, he signs to Rock Nation, drops his first album, huge success, College Dropout. And everyone's like, oh my gosh. And then he goes on to release a bunch of other albums, Graduation, 808, I forgot the album. I forgot what it's called. I think it was called, I just remember the song Runaways on there. Anyway, he literally goes to prove the world wrong, and that's because he believed in himself before anyone else did. And there's also another example of this. There was, I can't remember the year, but we believed that no one could run I think it was the 400-meter race any faster. And even scientists were like, if we run any faster, like, the human body would just collapse and implode and blah, 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 blah. Without a doubt, a few years later, someone doesn't believe that, and they believe in themselves, and they believe that they can actually run this race faster and break the world record, and they did it. And then once other people saw that they did it, then other people started beating that world record and running even faster and even faster and even faster. And today people are like, yeah, you pretty much can break anything if you really set your mind to it. And I can't name the flipping athlete or what race it was, but I remember reading that, or not even reading that, listening to that on a YouTube video. So I thought that was super, super sick when it comes to, self-belief. And it's not just, self-belief is not just enough. It needs to be delusional. I also made a video about this later. I'll probably link it at the end of this video. You just need to be crazily delusional. Like, manipulate yourself, gaslight yourself into believing that you can do it, even if you think, oh, come on, that's silly. Gaslight yourself into doing it. Gaslight yourself into looking at the good things that you've done in the past. Like, for example, I realized when running my business, I was the only person in my way. I helped loads of business owners and creators either grow on social media and just make more money. But then I was like, damn, like, there's a few people I didn't help as much as I feel like I could have, or maybe I could have done better. And that was me focusing on the bad. And then that would have limited me working with more people. That would have limited me working with more people and helping them grow their social media, because I'm focused on the bad things. Whereas if I focused on the good things, I'd be like, damn, I helped like Nero grow. I helped Black Bezos grow, Cold Sweet grow, just all these things. And then I look at all the proof and all the things, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm amazing. Like, I've helped so much people. And then even if I even if I gaslight myself and think, okay, they probably, like, the people that didn't do so well, they still gained value from it. They still were educated. And in a few months' time, they still could be a success on social media if they still do it. And then if you want, you can even gaslight yourself even more to the fact that they didn't put in as much effort as the other people. Like, that's the main reason why they didn't do it. It's nothing to do with me. Like, my processes, my systems, and all of that still work. And you can do this for literally anything. When it comes to the gym, you could literally gaslight yourself into thinking, man, I only can do 70 kg bench right now, but like, that's really good. Before, I was only doing like 50. Before you know it, next week you're doing 75, and you're like, yeah, man, this is really good. And you focus on the progression and how you're getting stronger, rather than like, you're not at 100 kg yet. Like, I always used to think, I'm not at 100 kg bench yet, man. What the fuck? This is long. This is difficult. Like, I'm never gonna be able to do it. Like, I'll never get there. But when I switched it, and I thought, damn, I couldn't even, like, when I first started bench pressing, like, the bar was crazy. Like, the bar was crazy for me. Literally just the bar, no weights on either side. It was crazy. Now I'm just like, okay, I can do 80s, 85s. Man, I came from just the bar. I came from just 50. I came from just 60. Like, and now I'm repping out 40s. I'm repping out 60s. Like, this is light work. This is how you need to see life, and just gaslight yourself into believing that you can do it, and eventually you will get there. Because, again, as I said, if you don't believe you can, then you won't, and no one else will believe you can. How can you expect someone else to have more confidence in you than you? It literally doesn't make any sense. And if there's anything you take from this video, is just gaslight yourself into good memories, into good moments, and just rewire your brain into thinking of the good things and the positivity, and see the good things in negativity. Just because you can't see the positive in the negative that has happened now doesn't mean that there isn't a positive at all. And I'm reading a book, and it literally said, anytime that he failed, he goes, oh well, it's in my back pocket. And anytime in the future something will happen, that failure, that experience, that negativity that happened, he'll use the experience, pull it out of his back pocket, obviously theoretically, and then use it to gain an advantage on a new scenario or a new situation. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening, or doesn't mean it's not going to benefit you. With that being said, guys, gaslight yourself, and I'll catch you in the next video.